Good afternoon. The June 6, 2024 meeting of the Committee on Academic Affairs and
Hello, everyone. The
Administrative
meeting is
Services
starting.
is now called to order.
Hello, the meeting is starting.
Will the Chief Advisor please call the roll?
Chair Newquist.
Here.
Chair Newquist.
Here.
Trustee Davis.
Here.
Trustee Lopez.
Here.
Trustee Hatch. Here. Trustee Hightower.
Here.
Thank you. Do we have a quorum?
We have a quorum.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. As the Chief Advisor has just noted, we do have a quorum. We will now have remarks by Dr. Mark Potter. Thank you, Provost.
Thank you, Chair Newquist, and welcome to the Academic Affairs and Student Services Committee. I want to take this opportunity to welcome and introduce to you our new Chief Information Officer at City Colleges, Jay Agarwal. Jay joined us about 2.5 weeks ago from a role he had been working in the Department of Homeland Security, and already he has hit the ground running at City Colleges, bringing his lens on risk management and insights into business practices that are critical for an operation like our IT services at City Colleges. I also want to thank Zarko Jakara for his service filling in this past year on an interim basis as CIO. Zarko now gets to go back to doing one job, which is ensuring that our systems are secure. And so I very much appreciate having worked with Zarko over the last year. His commitment and collaborative spirit have extended into this transition period, as well as he's worked closely with CIO Agarwal to ensure a smooth onboarding. And you'll hear from our new CIO, Jay, later in this meeting as he presents a number of agreements from the IT area. Finally, City Colleges will be celebrating our Illinois High School Diploma Completer celebration on Saturday, June 15th. These are our students who have successfully worked their way through our adult secondary education program and pursued their high school equivalency exam successfully. These students' stories are always powerful and moving, and I very much look forward to celebrating with them and with you all. Thank you. And with that, Chair, I will turn it back to you.
Thank you, Provost Potter. At this time, we'll have a clean energy presentation led by Senior Advisor Eric Lugo. Please proceed with your presentation, Eric.
Gotcha. Can you all hear me now? Okay. All right, great. Well, good to see everyone. Thanks for being here today. My name is Eric Lugo. I've been back here at City Colleges in a senior advisor role for about 2 years now. And I'm excited to present to you some great updates that the system has been working through around clean energy in particular and responding to the economic needs of our city and state. I'll be joined by several colleagues who are also leading this work up at the college level. And they're here today: Melissa Damewood from Kennedy King College, Dave Grisadis from Daly College, Cheryl Freeman-Smith, who we're expecting any moment now, from Olive Harvey College, and a new colleague, Amit Shukla, who's partnering with us at the district level. So just to set the table a little bit, in 2022, I rejoined City Colleges in this senior advisor role. And one of the key deliverables that the chancellor signaled was a desire to ensure our system was getting in touch with the work happening in the clean energy space. In particular, there was transformational legislation at the state level, a number of initiatives rolling out at the federal level, and many partners coming to us at the employer level and the community level, asking and indicating where and how city colleges could be a kind of more strategic actor, shifting from our current economic work to the future energy work that is necessary. So we began a process of exploring in partnership with others what it would look like for city colleges to begin modifying and developing new programming that would cut across many sectors that are related to the green economy or clean energy sector. So between 2022 and now, we've had a number of incredible opportunities presented to us that we've taken advantage of. And again, with our colleges leading, have secured incredible resources to drive this work forward. That's what we'll be talking about today. So in particular, I just want to spend a little bit of time talking about the landscape of partners that we've been working with and how we've been getting plugged into the ecosystem that exists here in the city and state. One key partner has been Elevate Energy, a leading nonprofit that's been working at the state level and with community to really figure out how to ensure that there's equitable access, as well as engage participants in supporting the workforce strategy, the small business and economic development strategy of communities as it relates to this sector. Elevate in particular were principal authors of the CEJA legislation with many other community organizations that help move that work in partnership with the Office of the Governor. Illinois Community College Board, of course, one of our governing partner, has been, partnering with various state agencies in particular to source resources to colleges who are in a position to design and develop programming, building off of our current capacity. The Illinois Green Economy Network is a committee of the community colleges, bringing leaders together who have been advancing programming in this space. iGen is a bit more of a formal space where colleges are co-invested in building a team and infrastructure to support innovation in clean energy programming. The Illinois Innovation Network is an entity anchored by the University of Illinois system that's been working with the public universities as well as community colleges to activate workforce programming. And they have secured a number of investments at the federal level in particular. To activate mobility and electric vehicle and other types of programming in partnership with colleges and workforce agencies. And then the Illinois EV Network is more of an ad hoc committee of community colleges that have been thinking more specifically about converting auto programming into EV programming and what it's going to take to meet specific goals. So these partners have been, I think, a key part of how we've kind of assessed out and sussed through what to do from a programming standpoint and some of the key wins. So just to get a quick sense of, so what does CEJA, again, the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, prioritize? From a workforce standpoint, focuses very specifically on these key areas of work. There's the HVAC building efficiency space. There's the solar photovoltaic systems, which is solar panels and installation of that work. Wind turbine technician efforts. You see wind farms growing, if you're driving down Expressway South in particular. There's the automotive and hybrid EV space, of course. Construction and building inspection, really key to becoming a cleaner and greener city. Energy auditor work and energy efficiency work. So these are kind of the priority job areas that CEJA has said we want to prioritize. We are focused in on investing in training and workforce efforts that are going to build a workforce in this way. So this was a great kind of motivator and driver for us to say, how does our programming align to these efforts? And so we took kind of this understanding of what was happening at CEJA in 2022, actually spent some time with the colleges to figure out what was happening at the college level, how were college presidents thinking about responding to this opportunity, and what were various leaders at the college as well, how were they thinking about it. And just as a quick baseline, we had great work starting, and college presidents were now starting to think more strategically about how to advance that work. So we had solar programming offered at Daly College. We had auto programming that was moving into the hybrid space at Kennedy King College, as well as new efforts around smart building and construction technology. At Olive Harvey, we had great momentum with Rivian in terms of EV programming, as well as at Wright College, some burgeoning partnerships, in particular with small business contractors who are training in solar. And across that space, there were also goals. There were aspirations and things that the colleges were wanting to move towards, including at Daly College, for example, pursuing more EV and sustainable manufacturing programming. Olive Kennedy King, thinking more deeply about the HVAC work and how to turn that into more efficient spaces. Olive Harvey kind of expanding into EV degree pathways, and then Wright College really thinking about how to sustain its solar training through faculty and other hiring opportunities. So as a result of understanding that there were these conversations happening at the college level, as well as recognizing that there were some goals that were being shared across the colleges, we essentially established an internal work group, which we've called the Clean Energy Roundtable here at City Colleges. And the goal of the Clean Energy Roundtable was to very specifically make sure that we were working together to advance the full system. And leveraging each other to pull in resources across the colleges to meet some specific goals. So we maintained some cross communication for sure across the colleges. We wanted to create efficiencies across duplicative goals. We worked with the presidents to identify leaders that were going to be go-tos as it related to developing the programming and working together. And we wanted to also use this space to position ourselves to nimbly respond to grant and other opportunities that were being presented to us in the space. We've got a great list of college partners ranging from Daly, Kennedy King, Olive Harvey, Wright College, and also Truman College, who we pulled in to this work specifically as a result of some new grants from ICCB. And then at the district level have a cross-cut of individuals from credit, from continuing education, as well as grants. And then lastly, we've had some great accomplishments as a result of this work. We brought together programming in electric vehicle charging installer work between Daly, Olive Harvey, and Kennedy King, folks working together now on common curriculum. We were able to facilitate how Wright and Daly are now partnering around solar partnership work with IBEW in particular. And we also ensured that from an auto standpoint, under the leadership of Cheryl and Olive Harvey, we are thinking comprehensively about moving auto programming into the EV space in particular. We've secured some amazing grants, which we'll talk about now. And we were also able to kind of really activate this space to position our system and our colleges as leaders as the clean energy workforce space here in the city evolves. So just to give you a sense of now what's underway in terms of how our current efforts are aligned to state priorities. So again, after spending time with the roundtable and kind of thinking through CEJA, we've got training currently active or in development across these areas. We're active in solar, active in EV charging, active in hybrid EV mechanics, active in smart sustainable manufacturing. We've got some great stuff happening in HVAC. And the ones that aren't checked are opportunity areas, which we will continue to explore as resources and kind of programming comes online. So as we kind of shift gears, I want to talk a little bit about the funds now that are driving a lot of this work and how that's going to lead to our future. So in particular, we're really excited to be part of this initiative with the Illinois Community College Board that was funded by the Department of Energy. This is the Industry Assessment Center Initiative, which is a $1.7 million grant to city colleges over 3 years. This is started in April, and it will run through March 2027. And this is all about supporting how community colleges partner with local manufacturers to create, one, a greener footprint in kind of the manufacturing economy. That means both helping their buildings become greener and cleaner, but also helping them kind of retool their factories, their environments to also create cleaner products. So create more solar panels, create more widgets and gadgets that are kind of fueling the energy ecosystem. And so we've got 2 colleges that are partnering in this work, Daly College and Kennedy King College. Daly with a specific focus on supporting the manufacturing training space and how we are upskilling individuals who are in manufacturing programming to be more connected to sustainable and smart manufacturing. And Kennedy King College, who's really leveraging this moment to really think about the HVAC space and how we are helping buildings become smarter, more efficient, utilize more cleaner technology. So there's a number of other colleges part of this. There's 5 colleges total. We're 2 of them. But next, I'm actually going to turn it over to David Grasadis, Dean of Manufacturing Technology at Daly College, to talk a little bit about how one this effort, but also some of the broader goals that are now situated at Daly as a result of these resources. So, David.
Thank you, Eric. So our current curriculum and our program structure is set up for expansion to accommodate these new roles and skills that are required of our students to support this new technology, new industry, new needs of our, with clean energy. So we have a current structure that we will be utilizing many of the existing classes, developing new classes, developing new labs with the grant funding to fulfill these skill sets, and building out additional stackable credentials, basic certificates, advanced certificates, and associate's degrees, so students can fill these needed positions with the applications that are talked about there. Smart energy, EV manufacturing. So even though we may not have somebody manufacturing an EV specifically in the area, we have component manufacturers. And so we want to support those manufacturers with the skills needed for those jobs. EV charging installation. So as that becomes more popular at our fleet sites, at our residential sites, commercial sites, we want to be able to support the contractors that will be installing those charging stations, et cetera. And so as far as what we've done in that area, as far as new technology, we have started some classes with the IBEW. This spring, we did run a non-credit solar technician training program. It was an 8-week program, and we're prepared. We have a program scheduled for the fall also. And then also in partnership with the IBEW and Wright College, in addition to technician training, we're also planning a consumer version of that same training class. So consumers can be trained on sizing, the cost benefits, decision-making process relative to solar panels. And all of this has opened up doors with partners, new partners and old. So we do have some employers in the area that manufacture smart energy, grid-related equipment like S&C Electric. But being able to provide the skill sets for a future workforce in smart energy, clean energy, solar, opens up the doors to new people and new people to move into the Chicago area to manufacture and work on projects like that. An example being Switch Source, who came to us, sees the infrastructure and the capabilities we currently have, and understands where we're going with the new technology, and is looking to invest in the area for their manufacturing capabilities. As well as the Will Group, who has experience with returning citizens and manufacturing in the Chicago area, but is getting into new markets, and then this will help support their workforce needs. So key accomplishments, so starting off with that IBEW class for smart energy and solar technician class is one accomplishment. Another, the collaboration with the ICCB and the other community colleges across the state. We did hold in March a workshop for the colleges that are involved with this grant opportunity. So we had a good collaboration. Over 30 people attended. We had charging station equipment manufacturers there. So EV Box was there. We had Rivian there as a user and a company who needs these infrastructure sites installed to support the sales of their vehicles, as well as we had City of Chicago fleet manager who's increasing their use of EVs in the City of Chicago fleets, as well as we had a commercial EV charging station supply company who partners with residential and commercial sites to install EV chargers. So the objective was to learn what the market is, what the employment opportunities are for students, and what the challenges for the students would be, so that we could design our programs across the state accordingly to support those skill set needs. So very successful, and has turned into ongoing partnerships with some of those, as well as real good education for our faculty, who needs to understand all of those dynamics of the new field as they develop the curriculum and the new programs.
Test.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here today. And you know, the one thing I just want to point out before I talk about our slide is how cohesive and collaborative our group has been. So David and then Cheryl and our other friends at Truman, everyone's who's a part of this collective, they have been so supportive. And so it would be really important for you to understand that behind the scenes, all this great work doesn't happen without that wonderful cohesive team. I know I'm really proud to be a part of that. So in HVAC specifically, what we've been doing is we've been growing our program. If you know anything about HVAC, you probably all know like Four Seasons, heating and cooling, right? With the little truck and the van coming around. We already are rocking that. Like we've got that down. We're great at that. And all of those state mandates are helping to create those clean energy initiatives in people's homes. You probably have all taken advantage of that yourselves, putting in new HVAC equipment into your homes. So our technicians are well prepared. Where we're trying to grow and what this money and support has been so wonderful is in allowing us to get into building maintenance and then into industrial maintenance. And so what you're going to see at Kennedy King is a huge growth that we're going to start with where we started and then push right our way up. And that's why this money's been great. And a piece of that has to be our industry partners. Johnson Controls and Trane have given us brand new equipment. So we have all of the clean energy equipment for us to learn on, grow with, while still having the old stuff. And of course, you can imagine the students are like, wow, what a difference in clean energy, because our instructors have kept some of the old equipment and then they compare it to the new stuff and they're blown away at those energy initiatives that we're getting to see in a real tactical, practical sense. And then I also want to point out Johnson Control this year, which has been phenomenal, has offered one-on-one mentorship for all of our students in HVAC, which you can imagine has been critical to our success, absolutely. And so every student was able to meet and get partnered with an industry professional and was able to understand the importance of clean energy and how it applies to their day-to-day careers. And then with that, we're pushing our curriculum into building maintenance and then industrial maintenance. And so these areas are going to help us. And that's where Argonne comes in. So we're really happy. Right now, we're partnering with Argonne to develop a program where our students would, I'm calling it summer camp, where they would be able to go to Argonne for 2 weeks in the summer, not for a while, not this summer, and they would be able to have an industrial experience. That is something we have never tackled before. We're really excited. None of this would be possible without these funds and the amazing support of our team. We're really, really excited. Would you like me to go on to Cheryl's? Oh, okay, then click me away.
So the next initiative was that we received resources for was also funded by ICCB. And this was an allocation from the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity specifically to fund community colleges and build their capacity to shift from auto programming to EV programming. So adding on top of a number of automotive training initiatives across the state. And in this particular instance, 4 of our colleges were successful in securing resources: Daly College, Kennedy King College, Olive Harvey College, and Truman College. So each of them are activating a specific component of the EV space, including Kennedy King, Daly, and Olive Harvey, who are honing in on electric vehicle, and Truman and Kennedy King and Olive Harvey, who are electric vehicle charging installer work, I should say. And then Olive Harvey, Truman, and Kennedy King, who are thinking more specifically about shifting from auto maintenance and technician to EV maintenance and technician. So we've got a great set of collective outcomes. This is currently a 1-year grant, but we hope that DCEO and ICCB will continue to invest in this work going forward. And to talk a little bit more about the programming and the collaborative efforts, Cheryl Freeman is here, so I'll hand it over to her.
Hi, how are you? So we have been focused on EV auto technicians for over a year with our partnership with Rivian. And it is a 5-month apprenticeship, and individuals come to Olive Harvey Monday through Thursdays from 8:30 to 4:30, and on Fridays or Saturdays, they go and actually work in the service centers. So by leveraging that relationship, they shared their curriculum with us. So with this Rev Up grant, this is going to give us an opportunity to actually get our basic certificate for EVs. And we're working with all 3 auto-focused colleges. So this will be something that will be district-wide. We're very excited about that. But it will be focused on EV and hybrid technology. So we also are looking to do the infrastructure, which is the EV charging stations. The best part of that is this is all new. So we know that the entry-level part is a level 3 charging station. But what we want to look at is the long-term maintenance of EV charging stations. Those will take the relationships with electricians. And there are usually 4 people that will install a charging station. Someone who's focused on the IT piece, someone that's focused on the actual labor work, then you have the electrician, and then you have the folks that we're training. But the long-term maintenance work will require that electrician focus, and so we've had early talks with IBEW to make sure that we can kind of focus this infrastructure training towards pre-apprenticeship for the electrical union. And so this is something that we're in early talks. That doesn't exist yet, so what they've offered us is an opportunity to put our folks in the current solar panel pre-apprenticeship. So when our folks finish the infrastructure training, they have an opportunity to still work in the industry, learn more, start preparing for the test so that they can become an electrician through the IBEW Union 134. We are also looking at a relationship with PACE, CTA, and Lions Electric for heavy-duty EV focus. And so the best part about that is that it's all new. And so Lions is so excited about this. They've given us the curriculum. We're going to start it as a C opportunity. But PACE and CTA are like, well, we're going to need that too. So this is an opportunity for us to look kind of like globally using this grant money to get us started. We're very excited about this opportunity. And now it looks like Lions Electric is talking to CPS, so it might be an opportunity for them to create their buses, and we'll help all across the board. So, but yeah, so we're looking at that. We know that long-term, everything will be EV. But that doesn't mean that people will want to give up their Mustangs and all the cars that they're used to. So at some point, we're going to have to look at electrifying all vehicles. So we are starting conversations with organizations that want to do that as well, because in the long term, we're going to look at taking what we have and making it better so that clean energy is across the board, looking at how we can make this the very best relationship and localize this funding that we've been given. So Rivian, again, has the pre-apprenticeship. They've been great partners. They've brought in over $80,000 worth of equipment and tools. They brought in 6 vehicles and have also put in for us to get our own Rivian vehicle at no charge. We're very excited about that because the best one that I like, I've already chosen it. It's about $87,000. So free is good. We'll take free. But overall, we're just looking at making this a great pathway. We had over 200 folks apply for the Rivian apprenticeship. And so we talked to them and said, we've got folks that have got auto interests. Yes, we can put them in our auto classes, but is there a possibility to create a pre-apprenticeship? You tell us what they really need, and then we can get them focused for you, because you need people, and we've obviously got people, but out of the 200, they only found 6 that were qualified. And I'm like, what's missing? And so ultimately, it was more of a knowledge of autos, not necessarily more of a knowledge of electrical, which I thought was interesting. And so we are going to create this pre-apprenticeship to kind of fill the gap so we can get more people in the program at one time. We've already had 11 people complete the program, and all of them are working for Rivian all over the US. We have 3 in Chicago, 2 in Normal, 1 in Miami. I mean, they're all over. Arizona, they choose, and the salaries range between $55,000 and $75,000. So that's not too bad for a 5-month apprenticeship and maybe an 8 to 10 week pre-apprenticeship. So those are things that are in the works and on the horizon. That's all I have. Any questions?
Maybe take questions at the end. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, great. So really exciting work happening in particular in the EV space. I'd be remiss too if I didn't spotlight Truman just a little bit. I learned actually yesterday from the team at Truman that they've activated 2 new centers in partnership with Hyundai and Toyota, where they're now supporting kind of training related to the conversion of those cars, along with great work that they're already doing with Subaru as well. So coupled with Rivian, a lot of the traditional manufacturers are working with us and our system to move this work forward. So lastly, I'll just take a couple of minutes to share about an exciting opportunity that isn't quite official yet, but we hope will be official soon. And that is CEJA itself, is, as I mentioned, landmark legislation investing, across the board in Illinois' goal to be one of the cleanest states ever. And a part of the deliverables of CEJA is focused in on workforce and making sure that underinvested and disconnected communities are accessing the economic opportunity associated with this new sector. And so the workforce hubs was kind of a way of incentivizing how systems come together to create a more unified way for diverse communities in particular to access training, resources, and ultimately move into the workforce. And Chicago was deemed to have essentially 2 hubs, a south side hub and a west side hub, as part of the legislation. And so in partnership with the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership, our Workforce Investment Board, City Colleges applied for to essentially serve as a lead training partner in both hubs. And so we're excited about this work. Conversations are in the final stage with DCEO between the partnership, who will serve as the grantee and will be a sub-grantee in this work. But what's exciting is that, across the South Side Hub and across the West Side Hub, we're able to activate our footprint of colleges in ways that are going to, partner with a number of CBOs who are doing more basic education around energy and energy initiatives, and then helping pathway them in to varying programs that we have available at city colleges. As you've heard, we've got a lot of great stuff happening in more the traditional space that serves as a bridge to the clean energy economy. And so we'll be moving people into those current programs while we're also developing the additional credentials, whether they're in CE as an industry credential or they're in credit, to help people also then bridge into the energy economy as a result. And this last slide just kind of speaks to the collective outcomes across these goals. These zeros are more a reflection of ICCB's RevUp initiative is a 1-year grant. It's not a reflection of our long-term goals in this area. But you'll see that here across these deliverables, we expect to be training a significant number of people in both the traditional and moving them into the EV space. So it's an exciting body of work over the next 3 years. Last couple of slides. One, I'm excited to say that we're seen as a go-to in this area. Organizations and companies are now coming to us. We've been effective at positioning our capacity as a system to support this economy. And there's a number of efforts that we've had an opportunity to kind of play an innovation voice in, including securing, again, some of that money from the Industry Assessment Center, working with private funders to invest in our community partners to support strategic planning, as well as working across other community colleges to bring this work together in more a cohesive and statewide strategy. There have been a number of big wins at a regional level that we've been uniquely positioned as the community college system, including the Mach H2 Hydrogen Hub grant, which is a $1 billion effort over the next several years, led by Constellation and many other entities. City Colleges was the only named community college in a multi-state regional workforce strategy. So we're excited to stay in partnership with them and think through how the move towards this type of clean energy will have an impact and support the workforce of the future. Provost Potter has been significantly engaged with Current and the Great Lakes Renew Initiative, which is one of, I think, 14 NSF engines that was funded nationally. This is a major initiative focused on the blue economy, so really activating water as a resource, both thinking through how do we secure our water future and also how do we secure clean water for diverse communities and what's the workforce necessary to drive that work. Last two slides. One is I'm excited to introduce Amit Shukla, who joined our team in a part-time role as special advisor. He brings a great deal of subject matter expertise on clean energy and has been a support to me as we've worked with the colleges to understand, one, the programming strategy, as well as just project manage across a number of key initiatives that we want to be successful in. Amit brings over 25 years experience in energy, working in public utilities, higher education, as well as running his own training business, where he's partnered with Wright College in previous years to offer our solar training. He's currently also an adjunct faculty at St. Augustine College, where he teaches solar instruction. So we're glad to have him. He's here. If you'd like to introduce yourself at some point and learn a little bit more about his work. And then lastly, we are excited about this work and how it's going to bridge into a 2024 goal, which is really creating a new roadmap, call it, around clean energy for our system. We've got a number of great grant initiatives that are driving our work forward, but we want to put this into a more comprehensive package where we can kind of plan for a number of goals. Elevate has received dollars from JP Morgan Chase to support us in the strategic planning process, which will, one, kind of do some deeper examination of labor opportunity, do some deeper partnership work at the community-based level to ensure that we've got effective bridges and partnership or collaboration happening, as well as helping us think through how to kind of orchestrate and develop advisory capacities so we can stay in front of the many subsectors of clean energy work. So I know me and our team, we're happy to field any questions that you all have, but that's it for us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that presentation. We will now review the board reports to be considered during the June regular board meeting, which will take place later this afternoon at 2 p.m. Will the chief advisor please proceed with the review of board reports?
Thank you. We will start with resolutions. Resolution 1.00 will be reviewed by President Hollingsworth. Resolution 1.01 and 1.02 will be reviewed by President Webb Walker. Resolution 1.03 and 4 will be reviewed by Provost Potter. EBC Dupilia will review resolutions 1.05 and 6. VC Williams will review resolutions 1.07. Thank you.
Resolution 1.00 seeks the board's authority to pay Acento $25,000 for a digital and media campaign highlighting our child development program. Although a contract was executed, a purchase order was not in place when the campaign ran.
Resolution 1.01 requests the board's approval to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the Illinois Department of Transportation's Highway Construction Careers Training Program, HCCTP. This agreement, proposed for the period of July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, will provide Kennedy King College's Dawson Technical Institute with up to $449,920 to provide services that include recruitment, counseling, and remedial training to up to 30 participants, with a special emphasis on training women and members of underrepresented racial minority groups. Since the initiation of this partnership with IDOT in 2012, KKC has enrolled 377 participants with a 93% successful completion rate and 155 completers placed into paid construction positions. Resolution 1.02 requests authorization of a payment in the amount of $3,000 to the University of Illinois, Chicago. UIC provided evaluation services required in satisfaction of National Science Foundation grant deliverables. However, the work extended through November 2023, 2 months beyond the September 2023 contract end date, without an approved amendment.
Resolution 1.03 seeks board approval for a new program, the Basic Certificate in Unity Programming at Kennedy King College. This basic certificate stacks into the applied associate degree in game design and development and prepares students to use the Unity programming platform that is commonly utilized in 2D and 3D video game development. The basic certificate will provide an additional option to students seeking employment in game design and aligns with areas of projected growth in the industry. As a reminder to the trustees, board approval is a required step for every new credit program that is established at any of the city colleges. Those programs come in the form of a basic certificate, an advanced certificate, or a degree program. And for this basic certificate that is proposed before the board today, I'd like to ask President Webb Walker to share briefly how her team worked to develop this program and ensure its alignment with the game design industry.
Thank you, Dr. Potter. Our college is deeply appreciative of Computer Information Systems Department Chair Gregory Blair and faculty member Carolyn Durso, who worked collaboratively with KKC and CCC Computer Information Systems faculty to develop this new BC program, after conversations with employers and industry partners flagged an opportunity space in this area. The new program will benefit students by highlighting specific courses within the game design program to provide a direct on-ramp to high-demand careers by offering them certification in Unity. And as Dr. Potter mentioned, this is the leading design platform for creating 2D and 3D video games. This provides an additional option for students who want to seek employment in the industry with an industry-recognized certificate that takes less than a year to obtain.
And Resolution 1.04 also seeks board approval for new programs, again at Kennedy King College. And these are the Basic Certificate and the Advanced Certificate in Community Leadership. These certificate programs are designed to work within and stack within our Associate in Arts degrees and provide students with an additional specialization based on both classroom learning and experiential learning in community organizing and community engagement and leadership. Kennedy King College worked closely with community partners to develop these certificate programs, which are based on the National Community Learning Partnership model. And once again, President Webb Walker will share more about that collaborative work to develop these programs.
Thank you. Kennedy King College would like to recognize the team of faculty, administrators, and community partners that developed this new community leadership program. Social sciences faculty leads were Professor Ted Williams III and Dr. Daniel Davis. Chandria Holmes, our interim vice president of academic and student affairs, served as the college's administrative lead. This program is focused on strengthening the workforce pipeline of knowledgeable and credentialed leaders and organizers from and for low-income communities, communities of color, and immigrant communities. The program prepares people directly impacted by injustice to gain credentials and work experience that prepares them to organize communities and lead efforts to create systemic change and to make policies more equitable in local communities. Through these pathways into community change careers, students become prepared to tackle issues of racism, poverty, public health and community health, climate change, immigration, economic development, and other social justice issues. The college partnered closely with subject matter experts Teamwork Inglewood and Southwest Organizing Project, also known as SWAP, along with consultants and longtime community activists Maureen Fitzpatrick and Brian Brady, former CEO of the MICVA Challenge.
And I think it's worth noting that the chancellor was also involved in the vision for this program.
Absolutely.
Resolution 1.05 requests the board's approval to complete a payment of $3,182 to vendor Peace Over Violence. This payment is to cover a prior purchase for apparel ordered to carry out grant-funded programming through our FY20 Project SAFE grant for Denim Day in April 2022. Goods were shipped prior to the completion of required vendor registration documentation, but since goods were received and distributed to the City College's community, we must now provide payment to this vendor. For reference, Project SAFE is a grant-funded initiative through the U.S. Office on Violence Against Women that seeks to address and prevent gender-based violence. And Resolution 1.06 requests the board's authorization to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the Chicago Housing Authority, or CHA, to provide the delivery of educational and other services to CHA residents and Housing Choice Voucher HCV program participants. In alignment with our strategic framework's equity lever, by providing educational access to some of our most historically marginalized community members, this proposed agreement is the continuation of the Partners in Education, or PI program, collaboration between City Colleges and CHA, which has been in place for over 15 years. In this partnership, CHA residents and Housing Choice Voucher program participants are able to attend all City Colleges program types at low or no cost, with the ultimate goal of increasing their economic mobility. The proposed IGA is a continuation of our current agreement with the CHA, which provides $800,000 in funding from CHA to City Colleges for a full-time district director position, marketing expenses, and reimbursement for City Colleges, to City Colleges for tuition, books, and supplies for participants. This year, over 330 CHA residents participated in the PI program partnership, and we are aiming to increase enrollment in FY25 through the proposed IGA through close collaboration between CHA and the City College team.
Resolution 1.07 requests the board's authority to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the State of Illinois Department of Central Management Services Upward Mobility Program. This program is initiated in cooperation with one of the employee representative unions, a prepaid tuition program for employees covered under the State of Illinois Personnel Code, but not under the State University Retirement System, designed to promote career advancements and mobility. Qualified State of Illinois employees attend the City College of Chicago, and under the intergovernmental agreement with the State of Illinois, utilizing the deferment method of billing, City Colleges has billed and received tuition fee payments from the State of Illinois, and the State of Illinois, again, will offer said program for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024, and ending June 30th, 2025.
Thank you. VC Anthony, please review resolutions 1.08 through 112.
Resolution 1.08 requests the board's authority to amend an existing trust agreement with the Illinois Capital Development Board to undertake the Truman College roof replacement project. A detailed program analysis conducted by the architect engineer resulted in a revised project cost estimate of $6,909,500 for the project. The state of Illinois has committed additional capital funds to fund up to 75% of the project costs in an amount of $2,062,500, bringing the total state commitment on the project to $5,182,125. The district is required to fund a local match of a minimum of 25% of state capital funded projects. Approval of this amendment will authorize an increase in CCC's contribution to the trust in the amount of $687,500 to meet that 25% local match, for a total not to exceed cost of $1,727,375 for City Colleges. Resolution 1.09 requests the board's authority to amend an existing trust agreement with the Illinois Capital Development Board to undertake the Wright College roof replacement project. A program analysis conducted by the architect engineer resulted in a revised project cost estimate of $6,555,600 for the project. The state of Illinois released an additional $637,375 for this project, and a different CDB project was completed under budget, and the state of Illinois has agreed to transfer the remaining funds in an amount of $885,080 to this Wright College project, bringing the total state commitment to $4,177,455. The district is required to fund the remaining balance to meet the revised project cost estimate to continue the project. Approval of this amendment will authorize an increase of CCC's contribution to the trust in the amount of $1,493,145 for a total not to exceed amount of $2,378,145. Resolution 1.10 requests the board's authority to amend an intergovernmental agreement and facilities use license with the City of Chicago's Office of Emergency Management and Communications for use of certain portions of Daly College, specifically buildings 500 and 600, as a temporary shelter. Pursuant to Board Reports 34807 and 34939, the district entered an agreement with the city for the period of June 1, 2023 through June 30, 2024. This amendment will revise the end date of that agreement to extend it to August 31, 2024. The City of Chicago is responsible for all care for new arrivals, shelter operations, and all security within the temporary shelter. And resolutions 1.11 and 1.12 I'll cover together. They are similarly resolutions to requesting authority to enter intergovernmental agreements and facilities use license with the City of Chicago's OEMC to use portions of both Daly College and Wright College, specifically their gym and locker rooms, as standby temporary shelters. These shelters will only be activated by the city if needed during a surge in new arrivals over the summer. The agreement for Daly College will commence no sooner than today, June 6, 2024, and end on August 24, 2024. The agreement for Wright College will commence on July 1, 2024, and end on August 24, 2024.
Thank you very much. VC Jones, please review 1.14 and 1.15.
Resolution 1.14 requests the board's authority to amend Board Report 33025, adopted August 4th, 2016, to approve the reduction in the number of days procurement is required to post sole source application packages from 21 days to 14 days. This is the period the public will be invited to comment and/or object and make a claim that the procurement is not a sole source or single source. This change will allow CCC to align with state agency requirements and allow us to improve our processes in our continuous improvement efforts. Resolution 1.15 requests the board's authority to amend Board Report number 34555, adopted on August 4th, 2022, which increased the threshold of non-competitive bidding from 24999.99 up to 99999.99. This request is to approve a change under Section 2.2 requisition process to further increase the non-competitive spending authority from $9,999.99 up to $25,000. After further review, we recognize that this change is necessary as CCC's 25K threshold for vendors must accommodate the 7 colleges and district office. This would eliminate the approval of bid recap through procurement, but still requiring quotes for price comparison. This is another example of our continuous improvement initiatives, and this change will allow us to have a more expedited purchasing authority to meet the needs of the district.
Thank you. President Sanders, please review 1.16 through 18.
Board Resolution 1.16 is a request for the board to authorize an additional payment in the amount of $9,975.66 to the University of Illinois Chicago for June 2024 invoices that usurp the previously approved spending authority of $185,000 for UIC. Our present process allows the spending authority of a vendor to be usurped by other invoices unrelated to the original approval. Board Resolution 1.17 is a request for the board to authorize an additional payment in the amount of $109,057 to Assessment Technologies Institute, LLC, also known as ATI, which is the firm that provides our curriculum and comprehensive testing for the nursing program. This additional payment is to pay for an additional LPN and ADN students who were inadvertently excluded from the estimated costs from the original board report 34617. Board Resolution 1.18 is a request for the board to authorize an additional payment in the amount of $1644 to Chula Vista Resort for food charges that were excluded from the estimates for the Malcolm X College 10-year master plan retreat. The managers of the program assumed the food costs were already allocated when they were not.
Thank you. Assistant General Counsel Chris Jensen, please review Resolution 1.19.
Resolution 1.19 seeks board approval of tentative agreements for a collective bargaining agreement between the Board of Trustees of Community College District Number 508 and the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local Number 399, AFL-CIO. This agreement will cover the terms and conditions of employment for operating engineers employed by City Colleges of Chicago for the period of July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2028.
Thank you. President Jackson, please review Resolution 1.20, and CTO Dunning will review Resolution 1.13. Thank you.
Board Resolution 1.20 authorizes the execution and delivery of agreements between the Board of Trustees and the City of Chicago Department of Family Support Services and the Board of Trustees and the Illinois Network of Child Care Resource and Referral Agencies. It is an amendment of Board Report 34873, which was adopted on September 15, 2023. The amendment authorizes the chair, upon final approval of the General Counsel, to execute an agreement between CCC and DFSS to increase the funding available to CCC from up to $4,721,472 to up to $9,582,208, and execute an agreement between CCC and INCRA to increase the funding available to INCRA from up to $3,285,096 to $5,560,493.16. This funding is to support the Chicago Early Learning Workforce Scholarship. Since 2018, the Chicago Early Learning Workforce Scholarship has aimed to support the current and future early childhood birth through pre-K workforce in the city of Chicago by offering students coverage of tuition, fees, and book costs, as well as specialized scholarship and early learning advising at city colleges and partner four-year universities. Since 2018, 193 students have graduated from CCC with a degree or completed pathway.
Resolution 1.13 requests authorization to execute an employment contract for Dr. Andres Ojos to serve as president of Wilbur Wright College effective July 1st, 2024. Dr. Ojos is an experienced higher education administrator, having recently served as chief academic officer and chief student affairs officer at Oregon Coast Community College, and as associate vice president of student life at Roxbury Community College in Boston, Massachusetts. He worked previously in Chicago, including roles at Loyola University Chicago as Associate Dean of Academic Services and Clinical Assistant Professor at Meadville Lombard Theological School as an Assistant Dean of Students. The effective date of this contract will be July 1st, 2024, and go through June 30th, 2027.
Thank you, everyone. CTO Dunning, please review Personnel Report 2.00.
Board Item 2.0 is a request to approve the June 2024 Personnel Report. There are 40 actions on this month's report. They include 12 new and rehires, 7 promotion, title, and salary changes, and 21 separations and retirements. This concludes this month's report.
Thank you. EBC Herrero, please review Item 3.00, the Resource Development Report.
Thank you. This month, we are reporting 23 grants awarded totaling nearly $6 million and 26 grants submitted totaling nearly $16 million. 5 donations were received totaling $15,300. 12 of the grants that were awarded are grants awarded through the Youth Connection Charter Schools totaling $3.5 million to support our middle colleges at Truman and Olive Harvey College. Middle colleges are CPS option schools serving high school students who are at risk of not finishing their diploma or are reconnecting to high school after dropping out. We have a strong partnership with the middle colleges, including offering their students free early college course options. In 2023, we served over 250 students across both schools. These schools are run by the Youth Connection charter schools. Daly is a subrecipient of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity funding to Illinois Innovation Network and the University of Illinois System. The Illinois Innovation Network will partner with Daly College to provide overall project management and coordination of contractors, consultants, other Illinois community colleges to develop the Illinois Manufacturing Matters marketing campaign. The collaborative efforts will deliver a grassroots marketing campaign in the Chicago region in partnership with community-based organizations to increase the enrollment in manufacturing training programs and interest in transitioning to manufacturing employment and careers. Daly College will manage and administer the program, and the University of Illinois will provide Daly with up to $730,000 to cover program expenses. We're also excited to report that Daly College was awarded the Data Center Curriculum Development Grant for $350,000 from the Illinois Community College Board. In collaboration with North Virginia Community College, Daly will partner with College of DuPage to replicate a model for a data center operator curriculum, as well as investing in the infrastructure build-out of required classroom and lab space. Section 4 of the report provides an update to an award from the September 2023 Resource Development Report from the National Science Foundation to Harry S. Truman College and the University of Chicago's Data Science Institute. The approved $1 million award from the National Science Foundation also includes a sub-award to the University of Chicago for work outlined in the grant. This item informs the board that as fiscal agent for the National Science Foundation grant funds for both collaborating parties, CCC will issue on an ongoing basis up to $451,486 to the University of Chicago as the sub-awardee for the programmatic work outlined and agreed upon by all parties for the performance period. This concludes the June Resource Development Report.
Thank you, EVC Herrero. Please, we will now review the proposed agreements, which will proceed as follows. CIO Argawal, please review 4.00 through 4.04. And I apologize if I mess up your name.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Item 4.00 requests the board's approval to renew the agreement with Computer Drive of Skokie Incorporated for on-site repair and maintenance.
Can we get the hand?
Oh, sorry. I'll just start all over again. Sorry about that. Good afternoon, members of the board. Item 4.00 requests the board's approval to renew the agreement with Computer Drive of Skokie Incorporated for on-site repair and maintenance of computers, laptops, multifunction equipment, and workstations at all district facilities on an as-needed basis for the period of July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2026 for a total cost not to exceed $100,000. The original term of the agreement lasted from July 1, 2019 through June 30th, 2024 with an option to renew for an additional 2-year period that we're requesting now. The vendor was selected through an RFP process with the City Colleges of Chicago and is fully compliant with the board-approved MBE-WBE contract participation plan. Item 4.01 requests the board's approval to enter into an agreement with Oracle Corporation to provide software licenses and support maintenance services for various Oracle modules, starting on or after July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2027 at a total cost not to exceed $3,871,974 for the contract term. This licensing is crucial for continuous functioning of critical CCC business systems, including PeopleSoft Student System, PeopleSoft HR, and PeopleSoft Finance, PeopleSoft Enterprise Portal, as well as all the underlying Oracle databases used for high volume and high-speed information data access and processing. We are recommending a waiver of the MBE WBE contract participation plan due to the nature of the services, software exemption, and maintenance services support for various Oracle modules and the absence of subcontracting opportunities. Item 4.02 requests the board's approval to renew the agreement with Kamal Tech Incorporated for purchase and installation of audio-video equipment, related network equipment, audio-video software products, and related services district-wide on an as-needed basis and a total cost not to exceed $1 million from July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2026. The original term commenced July 1, 2019 and will continue through June 30th, 2024, and we are utilizing the option to extend for one additional 2-year period. Kamal Tech was selected through an RFP process with the City College of Chicago and is fully compliant with the board-approved MBE WBE contract participation plan. Item 4.03 requests the board's approval to enter into an agreement with Pace Systems Incorporated and Midwest Computer Products Incorporated on an as-needed basis for the purchase and/or installation of audio-video equipment, related network equipment, audio-video software products, and related services district-wide from July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2027 at a total cost not to exceed $1,800,000 per each vendor for the contract term, for a total amount not to exceed $3,600,000. Both vendors were selected through an RFP process with the City College of Chicago and are fully compliant with the board-approved MBE WBE contract participation plan. Item 4.04 requests the board approval to enter into an agreement with Pace Systems Incorporated and CDW Government LLC on an as-needed basis for the purchase and/or installation of computer hardware technologies such as computers, laptops, servers, network equipment, specialized security software, equipment and services, various software products, and related services for the use at all campuses through the district from July 1, 2024 and continuing for 1 year at a total cost of up to $4 million for each vendor and the aggregate cost not to exceed $8 million for the contract term. These vendors were selected through an RFP process and are utilized through our participation in purchasing consortiums to leverage the aggregate purchasing power of the community colleges in Illinois. Both vendors are compliant with the board-approved MBE WBE contract participation plan.
Thank you. VC Williams, please review 4.05 and 4.06.
Agreement point 4.05 requests the board's authority to execute a renewal agreement with McCann Associates to maintain the computer platform service used for English placement for credit students. McCann and Associates will maintain the English placement for credit student district-wide. The first renewal of this term of this agreement shall be July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, with an option to renew for a 1-year period at a total cost not to exceed $360,000. Agreement 4.06 requests the board's authority to execute a renewal agreement with McGraw-Hill Global Educational Holdings, LLC, to provide and maintain the computer platform system used for math placement tests for credit students. McGraw-Hill will maintain the math placement for credit students district-wide. The first renewal term of this agreement shall be from July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, with the 1 year with an option to renew for 1 year at a total cost not to exceed $270,000.
Thank you. Provost Potter, please review 4.07 and 4.08. Also, President Jackson, please review 4.13.
Item 4.07 seeks board approval to renew our agreement with Leapfrog Technologies through a one-year period of August 2nd, 2024 to August 1st, 2025, at a total cost not to exceed $72,000. This is the first of 5 available one-year renewals that we are seeking. City Colleges began working with Leapfrog Technologies in 2019 to provide a superior experience to students utilizing our course catalog to search and find programs and classes. Prior to then, we actually put our catalog online as a PDF, and it was a significant undertaking every year to update that document and ensure that all changes and dependencies were accurately reflected. Now, students can sort and find programs and classes by starting with their desired focus area or their desired college, and can view up-to-date labor market insights embedded within the catalog relevant to the programs they are exploring. Administratively, program changes that we make through our internal shared governance process are automatically fed into and reflected in updates to the catalog in all relevant places. This was a significant undertaking to create this online interactive catalog led by Vice Chancellor Sarah Lichtenstein-Walter that greatly enhanced our student experience, aligned with the student experience lever and the economic responsiveness lever in our strategic framework. Item 4.08 seeks board approval to enter into agreement with Transfer, that's TRANSFR, to provide virtual reality equipment and software for use by the Chicago Roadmap. The Chicago Roadmap is our nationally recognized partnership with Chicago Public Schools that provides career exploration, college readiness, and structured early college opportunities to increase college going and career readiness of Chicago youth. Within the roadmap, City Colleges collaborates closely with CPS on experiential career exploration, leveraging, for example, our centers of excellence. The virtual reality capabilities that will be made available with this technology from Transfer will enhance that experience for students and is closely aligned with our economic readiness lever in our strategic framework. The agreement will be for 1 year through June 30th, 2025, at a total cost not to exceed $29,250. This is actually the first of 2 agreements with Transfer presented to you today, and President Jackson will review the second.
Thank you. Agreement 4.13 asks the board to authorize the execution of an agreement with Transfer to provide virtual reality equipment and software for career exploration from June 6, 2024 through June 30th, 2025 at a total cost not to exceed $49,550. Truman will design and implement an immersive educational initiative using virtual reality through Transfer to support the recruitment, enrollment, and retention of career and technical education students. It will also provide faculty and staff with the opportunity to test and learn about VR and the ways it can be incorporated into the classroom.
Thank you. CTO Dunning, please review 4.09.
Board item 4.09 is a request to execute a renewal agreement with Workforce Software to maintain services and hardware for district-wide electronic time and labor management system solution known as CCC Works for the period from July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2027. This renewal will allow us to implement necessary system changes and ongoing maintenance at a total cost not to exceed $950,000.
Thank you. CFO Rodriguez, please review 4.10.
Agreement 4.10, this is a new agreement with U.S. Bank to provide electronic payment card services for vendor payments. U.S. Bank will transition and replace PNC Bank for the same services that we approved at the May board meeting, where we extended through November 30th to allow for implementation time. The term is July 1, 2024 through December 31, 2027. This is a no cost to the district as it provides a revenue sharing rebate based on the payments processed by credit card to the vendors. Thank you.
Thank you. President Sanders, please review 4.11.
Agreement 4.11 is a request for the board to approve the execution of agreement with East Lake Management Group to provide rental space for Malcolm X College to provide a temporary physical registration space for returning and new students from July 29th, 2024 through August 30th, 2024 at a cost not to exceed $40,000. The Democratic National Convention will be held at the United Center in Chicago from August the 19th through the 22nd, 2024. Due to security restrictions in the area, students of Malcolm X College will increasingly become unable to access the college beginning sometime on before or after August 9, 2024. In order to mitigate this issue, Malcolm X College will utilize the temporary site, which is located less than 1 mile to the south of the college off Damon Avenue, to ensure all students, but especially our home insecure students, which total more than 3,800 in FY24, have an access to a physical registration space. An analysis was conducted by Administrative Services and Procurement relative to the cost of the space, and it was found that the cost is in line with market rates. In addition, East Lake Management Group is a 100% MBE vendor. This board report impacts the strategic levers of exceptional student experience, equity, and economic responsiveness. Finally, there will be one more invoice related to this temporary space that will allow for the sole source DNC staging vendor to outfit this space for professional use. It is expected in the July board.
Thank you. EBC Herrero, please review 412.
Agreement 412 secures a pool of grant writers to support in successful proposal development for the entire district, including individual colleges, multiple colleges, and district office units for the period beginning August 1st, 2024 through July 31st, 2027, for a total not to exceed $600,000. The contract also allows for the option to review for an additional two-year periods. These 4 vendors competitively procured include ADV Business Consulting, ASIL Ventures LLC, Historia Research LLC, and Marcella Consulting Corporation. During the procurement process, vendors were selected based on their past performance with city colleges, other institutions of higher education, or government entities, samples of work from past submissions, submission success rate, and overall dollars raised. Each vendor provided their hourly rate, professional qualifications, and the MWBE compliance plan. For this contract, we are requesting an MWBE waiver for one vendor, Marcella Consulting Corporation. As grant writing opportunities arise, members will be identified by corresponding areas of strength and contacted by the institutional resource development team to provide a statement of work or project plan and a cost proposal to be considered for the assignment. Approval of this contract is essential for continued growth in a revenue stream that both expands and adds depth to the offering CCC provides our students.
Thank you. For purchase reports, VC Anthony, please review 5.00 through 5.02.
Purchase 5.00 requests the board's authority for the monthly job order contractor construction projects to be performed by the listed contractors. Board Report 34571 authorized the utilization of JOC as a construction delivery method to perform renovation services, deferred maintenance, and repairs. This month's report lists 3 projects for a total cost not to exceed $380,099.62. Purchase 5.01 requests the board approval of the issuance of a purchase order to Delta Heating and Air Conditioning on its existing HVAC repair contract to replace the dampers and upgrade the lab fume hood controls at Harold Washington College for the period of June 6, 2024 through December 31, 2024 at a total cost not to exceed $333,630. The HVAC repair contract requires approval of the Board of Trustees on projects with a value greater than $25,000. Purchase 5.02 requests the board's approval of the issuance of a purchase order to Mundo Electric Company on its existing electrical maintenance and repair contract to replace the main electrical feed and all affected fixtures on the 6th floor at Malcolm X College at a total cost not to exceed $93,395 for the period of June 6, 2024 through December 31, 2024. The electrical repair contract also requires the approval of the Board of Trustees on projects with a value greater than $25,000.
Thank you. General Counsel Goen, please review item 6.00, the payment of illegal invoices.
Item 6.00 requests approval of legal fees totaling $121,706.05. Such invoices cover litigation, labor, employment, corporate, and higher education matters.
Thank you. Chair Newquist, pending no further questions, that concludes the review of board reports.
Thank you all. May I have a motion to discharge the June 6, 2024 minutes, resolutions, personnel report, resource development report, agreements, purchases, and legal invoices included on today's committee agenda as part of the consent agenda to the June 6, 2024 regular board meeting?
So moved.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Thank you. Since there is no further business to come before this committee today, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We are adjourned.